people are in the house? Anybody have done PR, which stands for public relations? Okay, like one for sure and maybe like a little bit. I was like less than even a little bit. So I'd like to give you a little bit of context for what I've been asked to share. I am part of a volunteer organization with Samaritan's Purse called Operation Christmas Child, and I am a year-round volunteer down in the Okotoks area. I help with the logistics of doing numbers for collecting shoe boxes that happens in November, and so we collect shoe boxes filled with hygiene items, school supplies, and toys, and they all get shipped off to different countries around the world to be given to children who have been identified as being in need in that area. When I joined Toastmasters for the Pathways program, I chose the public relations because I thought that would be a good fit for helping this volunteer organization and finding connections within the community of how to get our message out. And so by doing this particular project, I learned what public relations is and what it is not. So for example, the main purpose is forming that positive image, positive relationships within your community. For sometimes it's creating a positive reputation where there isn't one, or maintaining an already positive relationship, or helping to build up an image that is either neutral or even negative. Thankfully, the organization that I've partnered with already has a really great reputation, so there's no damage control that's necessary. One of the things that I learned through doing this particular project is the difference between public relations and advertising or marketing. And advertising or marketing, what they are doing, their focus is to create a need for a particular product or service. And that usually involves a large budget, and they're looking to influence the behavior of the consumer. Public relations, on the other hand, is more about relationships, and they're looking to get goodwill with very low cost. So that would be, for example, talking to the newspaper about an interest story, being on the radio, using the internet, social media. And so that's what I'm going to be talking today, because the way that I have decided to do my public relations is through a Facebook group. And I'm going to be showing you some images with that. Okay. The three things that I'm going to be talking about today, my public relations purpose, is to increase public awareness, to generate goodwill, and to build credibility. Those are my objectives for public relations. So here's the example of what our Facebook group looks like. This is for Operation Christmas Child in Okotoks and surrounding areas. So we would go west out to Prentice, Millerville, down to Black Diamond, Turner Valley, and then east a little bit, all the way down to High River. Calgary has its own collection center, and so we're more of the rural area. One of the things that I really like about using Facebook is the fact that it gives you insights, it gives you analytics, so you can see and understand what's going on. So for example, there's been a 400% increase in my membership. But when you look at, I've only increased 3 members, you can tell that I have a very small membership. Okay? But that's one thing that we're working on. When I didn't create the group, I joined the group, but noticed it had been dormant for a year. And so my main focus has been to increase awareness, start inviting members, and it starts with friends and family, and then it goes out from there as we create more of an awareness. And then the other thing too is I love how it lets you know how you're doing. It tracks your likes, your comments, your responses, so you can see how you're doing. So this is really the starting point for me, so that as I build my campaigns and as I go out there and post things, I can see how it's doing. One of the other things that I really liked was that I can see some of the posts that get better responses. So for example, things that are colorful, that have images, those will do better than just text only. Another example is finding posts that relate to real people and experiences. So posting a picture of my friends, the Saundersons, and how they put together boxes, and then finding out that there was another group who got to open up boxes that were from the Saundersons. That was a really special story, and people interacted with that and shared that. So from posts that you understand get responses, then you can look at the analytics for it. So for example, it was interesting to see Wednesdays tend to be popular days that people engage with my post. Perhaps it's because Wednesdays are the days that I have time to go on the computer and actually post something. But as I build into that, I'll be able to see really what is working, and also to be able to look at the time that people are engaging with these, so that I can schedule the post to come out at a time where most people, whether it's in the morning having their coffee break or in the evening when they're engaging with those. The next thing is generating goodwill. I think it's really important to find things that will help with the goodwill. So for example, when I find a sale, I found these cute shirts, brand new, only $2.99 at the children's place. I thought that would be a good thing to share with my audience, so that if they're packing shoe boxes and they're looking for great sales, that I'm sharing some information with them. Another thing is to give other people a voice. I don't want it to just be me sharing everything. So by allowing people to comment in the group, that also has the goodwill of allowing people to feel like they have a voice and that they can also contribute to the conversation and to the ideas that are being shared. Another one is showing what the impact is from these shoe boxes. So this is an example of a village in, I believe this one was in Senegal, West Africa. No, it's in Togo. And what's happening as a ripple effect of these people receiving the shoe boxes, that generates goodwill for the Facebook page as well. And finally, building credibility. I think it's also important to put on there things that the organization is doing beyond just Operation Christmas Child. So for example, Operation Christmas Child is part of Samaritan's Purse. Samaritan's Purse is a humanitarian organization, and so they help with flooding. They were down in High River a few years ago when High River was decimated. Okay? I also think building credibility by posting my own experiences to let people know that when shoebox are packed, they really do go to children. So this was from my own personal trip. And these are examples of, there's a Canadian Tire here in Calgary that put together shoe boxes. They took a picture of their group and they wrote a little note and they sent it. I was there when these kids opened it, so we took pictures of the child and of the letter, and then I had the privilege of going and finding which Canadian Tire in Calgary put together a group to be able to say, hey listen, here's a picture, here's the response, and being able to connect with them. These are just a couple more examples of posting pictures of my family, bringing boxes to these children. And also it's a good opportunity for you to either confirm or deny rumors that are about the organization or about something like that. So if you've ever bought the brand name Tom's Shoes, you might have seen that it says for every shoe purchased, a shoe is donated. So while I was in Costa Rica, we actually got to do a shoe distribution for Tom's Shoes and give pairs of shoes away to different communities. So by being able to do that, it builds credibility for both Tom's Shoes and also for Samaritan's Purse and Operation Christmas Child. So next steps for me, I have some more relationship building to do. I'm looking to create relationships with people in the newspaper. The Western Wheel is in the Okotoks area. Also finding out about radio personnel and how to get on the radio and look at doing that. And as well, building relationships with store owners to find out if we can help with their inventory, to get in on sales, to be able to highlight them as supporters and sponsors of this really great work. So, for everybody else in the house, my purpose for a PR campaign really is fourfold. It is to inspire, it's to encourage, it's to train and equip, and it's also to celebrate. And I hope that that gives you a glimpse of what PR can be and what I hope to accomplish with public relations for Operation Christmas Child.
I also do shoe boxes every year at daycare, so I do 2 every year, so thank you for that. Just give a minute for everyone to write down their evaluations.